Alright, we're here on a job today and we're going to replace these slabs on this door. What happened was the water actually started leaking in. And you can see on the slabs here, there's a gap. And water and air was getting behind the gap there on the slabs on all three of these. So we're going to replace. We've never done it before, so this will be the first time doing it, but we talked to the factory on how to do it and some of their service technicians that have done this many times. But we're going to replace this entire slab, both side lights and the main slab. The main slab's easy, you just pull the hinges and redo that one. But where it's tricky is the inside, these side lights here. But you can see again on the side lights where these have separated from. And they say that it's called a collapsed slab. It must be something to do with the foam process. So air and water was getting in here and frosting up in the winter. So we're going to remove those.
Pando's going to walk right underneath that. He's so small.
And put the new ones in. So what we're doing right now is removing the main slab. And Ryan just removed the hinges. What that's doing is now exposing another screw, and that screw goes into the side light here. So once we get these screws out, there's one hidden behind each hinge, and you can see that right there. So once we get those out, then we should be able to rock this in and out, and it should pull the screws out, because we can't get to the screws on the frame side. That's the hard part. We can't get to those. But by removing these screws first, we should be able to rock this back and forth, and that will expose the screws on the frame side. And at that point, we can either cut them off or they will break off. We dug out the screw there, and there was one down here, hidden behind these covers. So we just pop the cover off, self-adhesive cover. Is the top one out already?
Yeah.
Okay. Trying to find the ones on this side. Are these square heads?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a little tricky to find the right angle. So we should be able to pry these out, and they should rotate. Okay, it should just rotate. So basically, those screws pulled right out of the jamb of the slab just by wiggling it back and forth like that. Okay, go ahead and remove the whole slab. All the screws were fairly short except for this very top one. That was a much longer screw. And we'll end up breaking those off, and then we'll replace the bottom pieces, put those back on. All those should snap right back on. Okay, we just broke off the screw heads. Just hit those with a hammer and broke them off. Now Ryan's gonna seal this up and get that put back on, and then we'll put the new slab in. That looks pretty soft and pliable. Yeah, it is. Like a cushion or a pad. Okay, what we're doing here is we're putting a screw 12 inches down. I'm going to leave the head stick out, probably about a ½ inch or so. So about 12 inches down, we'll do one right in the middle, and then we'll do one about 12 inches up. And then what we'll do is we'll go to the corresponding slab or side light that we're putting in, and we'll put a hole 12 inches down, one right in the middle, and 12 inches up. And then when we rotate that in place, that should lock it right into place here and keep that slab from moving, because we can't put a screw in from the outside like the factory did, obviously, because the door's installed. Yeah, I'd go with the bigger than the head. You don't want to fight it. If there's a little bit of play, that'll be okay. Okay, we just took the 3/8 inch drill, and we basically drilled a hole, and we offset it just a little bit to the inside, so that way when it goes over top of the screw head, it forces it tighter against this gasket. So we'll see how that idea works. Go ahead if you want to go ahead and set it. Do a dry fit since it's our first time. Okay, we did a dry fit and it works beautifully. So now we are going to clean it up and do a little bit of back caulking, and then we will set it again. So we just put a back sealant all the way up and around, just as an extra precautionary, and that'll help lock in that slab over time. Good fit?
Beautiful.
Okay, now what about the bottom? There's a gasket that we got to make sure is lined up right.
Looks like that just adheres to it. That's what that one is.
A little clear sealant on that. Now we'll put screws back into the hinge, and that'll lock in this side. And when we do that, I'm assuming we want to make sure this is flush with the framing right here, with the maul. So you can see on this side here, we have perfect alignment. It's flush all the way down. So we want to do the same thing on the opposite side. So we want to make sure it's flush here. So we're just going to put a little pressure on that while Ryan sets the screws on this side. So I'll put just the right amount of pressure here, and then he'll put the screws in. Okay, we've got this side all secured, and we did the screws into the hinge. I get it to focus here. There it goes. We made new holes, did not use the old ones. So all three of those are in, so that one's good. A couple of areas where the sealant came out, so we cleaned that up, made that look good. Getting ready to do this side, and I started pushing on it, and I realized probably these screws also go in, so we got to pull all the hardware screws out for this from the strikes to make sure that's not going into the slab also. So we're getting those out of there. So go ahead, Ryan. Yeah, those are long. So those were also going all the way into the slab. So important to remember to get those out. Now we can start pushing on this slab. Okay, there's that little rubber foam gasket here, and I used a shim to help me get past that. Just trying not to damage this slab, because honestly this door slab is still in good shape. We can use it for Habitat for Humanity. So we've got it loose. Go ahead and start wiggling. Ryan's just gonna continue to work that back and forth. And as you can see as he does that, it's working away at all these screws. Remember that longest one is that tall one. Ooh, doggy, that's a long one. All right. We're gonna start setting the 3 screws. Now, did you pick a specific dimension from here to here, or from here to
just
the face?
even with that seal. Try to get it to line up with the heads, and it's not drastic. You can probably hardly even tell that it's angled, but
Yeah, I
don't
can see that.
angle it this way.
Yeah.
You got to keep it somewhat angled that way so that we can slide it in there nice and easy.
But is there a distance from the head to here? Like, how did you know how far?
1 inch.
1 inch? Okay.
1 inch over.
All right.
So these ones were at about 7/8, 3/4, heavy 3/4. This one I just did so that we can, instead of pinpointing this, knowing that we're back far enough, we can make our hole back a little bit to compress the seal.
Okay. So
Because it's easier to do, make it on that instead of do the,
yeah. So now we'll go to the slab and make the corresponding holes. So he's going to hold the slab up there. And I'm just going to take this pencil and mark right where that is.
Now another way to double check yourself is make sure that your screws are touching the slab all the way down.
Oh, yeah, that helps you make sure they're even.
Double check it.
Okay, so now we'll drill a hole at each one of those marks. Okay, so now we're going to drill right where the marks are. And instead of being right in the middle, we're going to come to the front just a little. And that'll help hold the slab tighter to the gasket, compression gasket. Alright, all that looks good. Good alignment. So now we're gonna focus on this side and get these screws in.
These ones we can use the same holes. You have to because
Yep, that's perfectly aligned already. I'll just put a little pressure on it. Yeah, that feels perfectly flush already. I'm just gonna put a little pressure on it. Now if we needed this to go that way or that way, there is a space right here that we could add a shim, but then we'd want to maybe do a clear caulk to hide the shim. Right now there is a little bit of a separation here. We'll put the slab on and we'll see if there's interference. If there is, we'll tighten up on these 4 screws and that'll take this separation away. So now we are ready to put the slab on. So Ryan's taking the old slab out and Hercules will bring back the new slab. And we'll swap out the hardware and see how everything fits. Okay, we just put the slab back on. And all the alignment looks good. Checking for operational hardware. And we're just hitting a couple touch-up spots with some clear caulk and some other things. But the alignment looks good on all the reveals. Even. We're looking for even reveals everywhere. Making sure all the gaskets line up. Come on, camera. There it goes. And again, all the reveals look nice and even. And this job is done. We're just going to do some touch-up and some cleanup, and that'll be it for this one. So it went great.